Hey guys, welcome back. At the time of recording this video, it is snowing like heck outside, and I thought what better time to stay inside and make a Destiny video, right? So in today's video, I'll be showing you guys one of my favorite go-to builds for Crucible, featuring the Last Word and Lucky Pants. Lucky Pants have been in the game since vanilla, and the Last Word has been around for a while, so this isn't anything you haven't seen before. But I want to show you today why this build is so good and so helpful in the Destiny meta right now. Seriously, the last couple weeks I've been trying this, I've been able to dominate Crucible games. It's viable in control, elimination, and even survival. So, totally worth giving a shot. So, let's get right into it. Before I continue, I'd like to refresh your memory on what the perks for Lucky Pants and the Last Word exactly say. Lucky Pants perk is illegally modded holster. Precision hits load one round to the chamber of stowed hand cannons. Hand cannons ready faster and are more accurate immediately after swapping to them. The quick swapping and the accuracy part is what we're focusing on for this build. Next we have the Last Words perk, Fanfire. This weapon fires full auto. Hip fire shots deal bonus precision damage while increasing reload speed and accuracy. So what's great about the Last Pants perk is that as far as I'm aware, there's no real cooldown. As soon as you see your weapon swap in the bottom right corner, you can switch right back to the Last Word, or whatever hand cannon you're using, and that accuracy buff procs again. It lasts 4 seconds, which is plenty long enough to secure a kill if you time it right, since the Last Word's time to kill is a very crispy 0.52 seconds. These days, it seems like Bungie is shooting for a kill time around 0.7 to 0.9 seconds, for primary weapons at least, so you're definitely going to have an edge on people. Of course, this drops if you miss a shot or land a body shot, then it's going to take 4 shots and around 0.7 to 0.8 seconds to kill, which is still pretty solid. Last Word takes 3 headshots or 6 body shots for a kill. Another factor you want to include while you're playing with the Last Word you want to think about is its exotic perk Fanfire, which boosts your accuracy every time you land a hit. Not a kill or a headshot, just anytime you get a hit, and this stacks up to 4 times. So if you land a kill, you may actually not want to reload immediately since your next engagement will have a significant accuracy boost. This perk, in combination with Lucky Pants, makes headshots incredibly easy to land consistently. So to recap the good things about this build, kill time is good, Last Word's pretty easy to use, weapon swap speed is pretty fast so you can be more responsive to people who rush you, and with all the combination of accuracy buffs that you get from Lucky Pants' Last Word, and even if you use the targeting mod, the Last Word becomes a lot more usable. But of course, remember that Bungie doesn't like to give you all good and no bad, they like trade-offs. So what you're probably wondering is, what are the trade-offs here? Well, to compensate, the Last Word has pretty bad range, like I mentioned earlier, with damage fall-off starting at 19 meters. So while the 0.52 kill time for the Last Word is pretty good, you're still competing with shotguns, fusion rifles, sidearms, which are all pretty deadly in this meta right now. So probably the biggest learning curve with this build is figuring out that safe distance where you can still land 3 taps consistently but not get totally destroyed by a shotgun. You are definitely going to be running into frustrating matches where someone's gunning you down with a shotgun all the time, but you just gotta practice with the Last Word and be willing to stick with it. If you're patient, it'll reward you pretty well. I say that because there's a time where I would keep trying it and get frustrated and then just switch to a different gun. I have a terrible habit of switching weapons all the time, and in the end, I wouldn't get used to anything. But seriously guys, with the buffs in the last year to hipfire grip and the way the Last Word feels on controller, you can excel with this gun and have some seriously fun games. So besides the Last Word being a little bit lacking on range, another drawback is that you only get 8 rounds per magazine, which only gives you room for about 1, maybe 2 kills. Even if you land your first 3 shots and secure a kill, that leaves 5 rounds for your second kill, which only allows for 2 misses. And I'm not gonna lie, I missed plenty of shots. There's a reason I call this channel the Scrub Hub. So again, to summarize, the issues you're going to be facing when using the Last Word are going to be primarily stemming from low range, low magazine, and the fact that it's competing with things like shotguns, sidearms, auto rifles, and a couple other classes. So before we wrap things up here, how do you actually go about using this build? I'm sure I'm forgetting to add a lot of detail, but here are some thoughts from my experience with it. First thing, stick close to cover. This may sound dumb since you usually want to be doing this anyway, but it's particularly important here. Since Last Word doesn't have a big magazine, it's good to be able to duck into cover when you need to reload after a kill, so you definitely don't want to stay out in the open. And since the last word lacks range a bit, you'll probably want to compensate with a long-range special weapon like a sniper rifle or a scout rifle, and you definitely don't want to get caught out in the open with those. Second thing, when you're using the last word, never aim down sights. Bungie specifically tuned this weapon to perform best when shooting from the hip. They leaned into this so much that ADSing actually does less damage. Not only that, it is incredibly difficult to control where your shots are landing when aiming down sights. This thing kicks so bad. So just stick to hip firing. It feels consistent and steady that way. It'll get the job done. Third thing, something else you probably want to do is when you're using this build is go for a long range energy option. Something like a sniper rifle or scout rifle or pulse rifle. Anything that can kind of fill that gap between like 20 and 40 meters. I like pairing the last word particularly with Adored since snapshot sights really plays into the quick twitchy gameplay. But another good option for more conservative play is the new low RPM pulse rifle Stars and Shadow. This one has a lot of good rolls and it can give you a solid range between 35 and 40 meters depending on your role and can cover that gap again nicely. You just want to make sure that you have options if your enemy doesn't push into close range. Third piece of advice, I'd say it's a good idea to equip mods to help out with reload specifically. While it isn't a must, it certainly does help. Targeting mods aren't a bad idea either as it increases your accuracy, which is kind of the whole idea of the build. Targeting mods are nice in this case because it'll help you out even if Lucky Pants isn't procced. And last thing I would say is you need to be very cognizant of where you're going and where you are in the map. Map knowledge is pretty important to be successful with this build. You don't want to be stepping into high traffic sniper lanes. You know, those really long hallways and maps and it's like, I probably shouldn't be going down this hallway, and then you come around the corner and see that red glint and your fears are confirmed. Move around the map very intentionally. Do your best to keep your target within 10 to 20 meters, otherwise you're just going to get punished by shotguns or snipers. Take note of where you get killed, learn from it for next time. So I actually think that's all for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I've been thinking about this build for a while and been wanting to share it with you guys. Lucky Pants is totally a sleeper pick. I don't see that many people talking about it or using it, but I think you guys would really enjoy it if you gave it a shot. I totally recommend it. It's especially worth giving a try with other meta hand cannons right now like Thorn and Sturm. I just highlighted the last word primarily because I think it has the most to gain from using Lucky Pants. So anyway, if you guys enjoyed, please subscribe, leave a like and a comment. Any of the above would really help me out. Have a good day and I'll catch you in the next one.